You're watching Wired Up Retro episode 38. Today I have a short little episode. I'm going to be doing a little conversion. And this has to do with the Atari Jaguar and the Atari Jaguar rotary controller. Back on Wired Up Retro episode 18, I was showing you, among other things, this rotary controller for playing the game Tempest. It also works for a Jaguar game that's homebrew called Rebooteroids. And there might be another one that works with it as well. Anyways, this is basically a volume knob, or you could say a potentiometer knob for an amplifier. And you can buy these on eBay for probably less than $5 from China. They're made out of an aluminum alloy. And whoever had made this did a really great job. They put it here in place of the D-pad, and there are other Jaguar controllers. They have them mounted here with the D-pad still intact. There's even some that are made with the rotary knob on the back of the controller, so you can use your, use your right hand to do the spinning and the left hand to do the button pushing, which might make it kind of nice. You can also use it when it's like this. I believe this one is made by a producer that had called themselves Chaos Reigns, and Chaos Reigns made a lot of these, and I know that the one on Atari Age, for a while they had them, was this model. So you can actually hold the controller like this with the left thumb, and that's the way I normally play for Tempest. But you can also turn it around, and it actually works as a right hand controller as well. So that makes it kind of cool. I haven't really delved into playing with my right hand with this controller a whole lot, but I think you could get used to it. Okay, so anyways, what is the issue with this? Well, there is an issue I have, and it's a rotary controller, which means when you turn it, it doesn't have it spins, but it doesn't like whiz spin like the arcade Tempest arcade cabinet. Back in those old days, you could dig it for a real whirl, and it would just keep momentum. The momentum would keep it spinning. So I kind of like the idea of turning this into something that might have a little bit more of a spin action. If you happen to watch Wired Up Retro episode 35, a friend of mine, Ryan Powell, had made an arcade joystick, basically an arcade stick with spinner for the Atari Jaguar. It was a custom designed arcade stick. And he had on that a paddle spinner that was weighted. And I really enjoyed playing Tempest with it. And it got me thinking. In fact, just the other day I was at the thrift store and I happened upon some Atari paddles. This one was missing and it was $1.99. I still have the price tag on it. This one still had its paddle on. Now I have a number of these, and I really didn't need it, but I thought to myself, well, it's already half broken, why not fully break it? And so I got home and I popped off the cap, and there was a little piece of metal that was attached here, went flying. So anyways, so I've got this, and this is about the same size. I think it's really the same knob that was used on the arcade stick in episode 35. So will this be able to replace this, and can I add weights to it to add some spinning action? We're going to find out. I haven't ever done this. I've looked at it, and I think we're going to have to use a drill to drill out a little section of plastic here. So I'll show this to you as I do it, and we'll see how it works. And then, oh yeah, another thing. Once I've pulled this off, this little $5 volume knob might actually be able to be put onto this paddle controller. It's possible. We'll see. And if it does, go on there, I have an idea that might make that kind of cool looking. So we'll go into that in a few minutes. We'll see. All right. Okay. So again, you're going to use the paddle top spinner. You're going to have a Jaguar, either Chaos Reigns controller or one that you've gotten through eBay used, or if Atari Age ever gets them back, you might want to grab one from them. You're going to use black electrical tape. I have a little hologram that says Jaguar, and it's got the picture of the Jaguar cat on it. That'll go on here. This is obtained on eBay. I've got some egg sinkers, which are basically for fishermen, and these sinkers are really heavy. I think they're made out of, who knows, lead, iron. Okay, I also have a Allen wrench, a variety of sizes. We're going to use that to take this off. In fact, let's go ahead and do that first. We'll take the knob off. So it's got two little points. And that's not fitting in. So that I probably went too big. You have to try to get the right one. There we go. Okay, actually it has two, but this one I already loosened up earlier. All right. Now, the question is, will this go on the paddle successfully? Looks like it does. You have to kind of jam it down on there. Oh boy, that almost just doesn't fit. It does fit though, it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and put that screw back in it and see if it holds.
Yes?
Yes. Yes. All right. So it does hold. It doesn't fall out when you tighten it down. It stands up a little ways off the surface, but not obnoxiously so. I think we've got ourselves a knob that'll work on the paddle just fine. It's kind of unique. Let me get that price tag off of there. Just make sure you pick the paddle that your game will play with. It's, you know, if it doesn't work on this one, I'm gonna have to switch it over to this side, but I think I picked the right paddle. So we'll see what that's all about. I have another idea I'll show you near the end of the video to make it look even better. All right, so now onwards. If we go ahead and attempt to place this in here, it doesn't go all the way. And that's because we've got a little piece of plastic there, and that's what this drill is all about. I picked a bit that just fits right in there. It's a little smaller than the hole in that. All right, so the idea here, once you've got that little piece of metal removed from the paddle, is to just get that widened up a little bit. And of course, you don't want to go all the way down because it'll leave a hole there. You probably only want to go about halfway down. Okay, I bored it a little bit. I hope you can see that. Okay. Close. Not quite though. I want it to go all the way down, so let's go a little further with that. Closer, I think. So we're going to keep going. That's pretty wide open at this point. Still stopping. Okay, keep going. There we go. Okay, so it's in, and I believe I see it. Yeah, it's in there pretty good. I could go, well, let's see. Yeah, it's held tight, so I believe we've got it so that it's holding it tight enough that it'll move it without slipping. Just push it down a little bit. Push it down again. Yeah. Okay, and the wobble on it is pretty minor. I would call that almost no wobble, and maybe by tilting it a little bit, yeah, now I got no wobble. So I just had to kind of push the plastic a little bit. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It feels nice. So right now you probably can't tell, but it's definitely spinning a little tiny bit compared to the original knob, which didn't spin really at all. Yeah, it's definitely spinning. So let's go ahead and add some weights inside of this. So we'll go ahead and pop it off. Okay, yeah, it holds really tight. It's nice. All right, we'll go ahead and put our first sinker in. So these sinkers, they actually do fit well in there, but they'll fall out if they're upside down, which they will be. So what I'm going to do is take the black electrical tape and wrap them a bit so that they'll fit snug into each of these 4 compartments. We're going to put 4 of them in there. And when I say snug, I mean drive them in and they stay in. And the only way to get them out would be to, I don't know, take a small flathead screwdriver mini and pop it out that way. But you're probably never going to want to remove these. Once you see what the result is, they're going to stay in there. All right, let's get working on that. Okay, so our objective is just to wrap it, kind of a horizontal wrapping. You don't need to go too far with it, but you know, we need to get a little bit more thickness. You know, if you put too much on, then always unwrap it. If you put too little on, you can always add more. I think this will probably be enough to get it to stay in there. We'll see. Yeah, it's snug. So I'm going to do that 3 more times. So I've managed to get these sinkers in here. These are, by the way, the style Peg 7 when it comes to sinkers. You're looking for Peg 7, and the size is 3/4. Okay, I'm assuming that means 3/4 inch. All right, so now we've got it. It's pretty heavy. It definitely has a lot of weight to it. They're not going to fall out of there. They're in there. Okay, and they're not glued. You can glue them if you want. If this is going to be 100% permanent for your Jaguar, then go ahead and glue it. But you know, you could always lay it here and just pour glue over and let it sit for a few days. All right, so we got it on there, and yeah, it definitely has a bit more spinning action now. It definitely has a lot more spinning action than it did before. We do have a little bit of wobble because, you know, there's imperfections in the design, but I would say it's pretty close to what I was hoping for. Let's go ahead and put the Jaguar sticker on board. Get that centered up just right. Yep, there we go. Beautiful. Okay. Nice. All right, I'll be showing you that a little close up there. Close up of it. Sweet. It definitely does spin better. It's not as spinny as what the arcade had, but it's an improvement, definitely. I think it's definitely an improvement. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and show you what I want to do with the paddle. I bought this peel and stick laminate. I think these are drawer liners or some sort of adhesive covering. And so I'm going to go ahead and open this up and make some cuts, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with this controller. All right, so I did cut a little swath of the adhesive wood grain, and I've made a circle. I just, you know, I made it a little bigger than the size of this. We're going to actually try to fit this on there into that circle area. So let's go ahead and create a hole in the center of it. I'm going to go ahead and put a little X. Fold it the other way. Don't want to go too far with that. All right, now we've got a slit, or a couple slits. Okay, I'll try to slide that over now. Beautiful. All right, it's over. once you got that in the right spot, I tell you what, I'll come back. I'm going to get it in there. Okay, so now I have it on there, and I'm going to start pressing, getting the crease of the circle in there. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to pull it up and off, and we are going to take a look at where the creases are, and we're going to cut that. So let's work on that a little bit. I'll come back. Okay, so I've taken all these out, and this is what I'm left with. And it's just a matter of removing the adhesive now, and then laying it in there and getting it to be stuck in there. Got it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and apply it. Make some decisions about what position to put it in. I think it would probably be good just like this. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but I'm gonna say it's probably as close as we're gonna get with a homebrew project like this. That's not bad. Okay, got ourselves the wood grain. Now I'm gonna also add some wood grain here as well. All right, so I've got this. We're wanting, if these are horizontal wood grain ridges, we're also going to want the horizontal on the lower part. Okay. I'm not sure that's going to be good enough, but I can kind of see the shape of it on the back now that I did that. So let's start cutting to see if we can get it just right. Okay, so I've got the label off, and we're ready to apply it. And there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, that works. There we go. We got ourselves our new 2600 paddle, custom designed. All right, let's play some games. Well, I definitely wanted to give you another close look at the workmanship and how things turned out for the Jaguar spinner controller. I'm not calling it a rotary controller anymore because it actually has some really nice spin action. At this point, I'm really pleased with how that turned out. All right, so we'll play a little bit of Tempest. Now, one way you can play it is to turn it around and use the right hand on the paddle. And then you can just get used to holding your thumb on the left side over on the buttons. We'll see how well this goes. You could really give it a good spin, and it goes a ways. It definitely goes more than it was going. All right. I'm really liking it. You can even play it with it on the table. Feels nice that way too. go ahead and take a look at the Atari 2600 paddle in action. Okay, I've got a Magic Solar Storm plugged in, and this cartridge is known to be very hard. This is hard as nails. I've had it since I was a kid. I've always enjoyed the game. I guess I just like punishing myself. Maybe this special modded paddle will bring me to a new height. We'll see how it goes. Well, yep, it's just as hard as I remember. But again, I had a little fun and loving that paddle. It's definitely accurate as any paddle. It's just that you have a smaller knob to grab. It feels different. And you know, there's a new Hyperkin product coming out, possibly with a new paddle controller that's also got a small knob on it. So this kind of gives you a taste, maybe if you make one, you know, what that's going to be like. Whether you like it or not, it's pretty subjective, but I like it. You know, it's definitely a nice change of pace for the gaming. All right, so on our next episode, we'll be showing a little bit more possibly of the Jaguar. I've also got an upcoming episode that has to do with using Super NES mice, maybe, on an N64. I'm figuring it out, and I'll be showing a presentation on some unique ideas that I have about that. So stay tuned. All right, we'll be in the next 2 to 3 episodes putting in some very unique content. So if you've not subscribed to my channel as of yet, definitely do that. And provide comments down below, give us a like, thumb up. And also, if you are open to going to Twitter and you want to subscribe to me there, or you could say follow me, I think that's what they call it, you can do that. I'm not a big Twitter guy, but I do get on Twitter from time to time and throw a post up that differs from the content of my YouTube channel. So if you're liking what you're seeing here and you want to see more, you can go to Twitter. Occasionally you'll see something new from me there. And you can see my Twitter handle below. I'm providing that. All right. So yeah, that's about it for now. It's great seeing you out there, and we'll look forward to getting back on and showing the next episode. Take care. Thanks.